It's been confirmed that the House of Commons will sit in emergency session on Saturday the 19th of October to consider the way forward on Brexit. The last time the House met on a Saturday was during the Falklands conflict nearly 40 years ago. The session will take place a few days after the EU summit, which is widely seen as the last chance to agree a Brexit deal before the deadline of October the 31st. The former Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, told the BBC Tonight that he feared a catastrophic failure in statecraft from the European Union and accused them of failing to understand British politics, as Laura Kuenssberg now tells us.
Not just Her Majesty will smell the new paint. A quick makeover before the week when the Prime Minister's political hopes might really do or die. Because the biggest problem is not where to put the barriers, it's where they'll be drawn in the coming days. Will there be a deal with the EU or not? Speaking out for the first time like this since he left his job, the former Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt urged the EU to bend.
Well, I think we could be about to see a catastrophic failure in statecraft. Not because of malevolence by the EU, I think they are sincere in wanting a deal, but just because they haven't really understood what's happening in British politics right now.
Is it stubbornness?
I don't think it is stubbornness. I think it is a bureaucratic inertia that says this is all so difficult and so complicated. But the biggest mistake that we made in the Brexit negotiations is when things get bad, you say, surely they couldn't get even worse than this, and they do. And I think that's true from the Europeans' point of view. If they think this is bad, just wait until what happens after Boris wins an election.
So he's written to his former counterparts in the EU to plead for a change of stance.
It's Ireland's call. If Ireland chooses to take a statesmanlike approach at this stage, there is a deal to be done.
Taoiseach, please.
Are there signs of any move? The Irish leader will meet the Prime Minister tomorrow. He wants a deal, but not on Boris Johnson's terms.
It is the position of the UK government that Northern Ireland must leave the EU customs union and must be part of the UK customs union, no matter what the people of Northern Ireland think. That's their position at the moment. And that's one that is of grave difficulty for us.
And if it can't be done, the Cabinet still claims we can leave the EU this month.
We are going now into an important period, an important phase with the European Council next week. But what I would say is that this government is focused on leaving on October the 31st with or without a deal.
Whatever happens in Brussels, the next day, on Saturday the 19th of October, the Prime Minister is expected to call MPs here to Westminster for a historic sitting to thrash out what really happens next, deal or no deal. And if there's no agreement, MPs have already changed the law to force him to delay. But he'll kick and scream to protest to try to avoid it and try to pin the blame on them.
Number 10 will encounter resistance from the opposition if they try to avoid delay, whether sending 2 letters to the EU or refusing to negotiate further.
The Prime Minister has an opportunity on the 19th to announce he's obeyed the law, signed the letter, sent it off to Brussels to ask for the extension, which will give us time to work out a sensible relationship with Europe.
Our politicians, though, have already had more than 3 years to do that. Perhaps, though, now we are on the verge of decisive days. Laura Kuenssberg, BBC News, Westminster.